Hi everyone, welcome back to our This Is How We Grow personal growth group. I am Dr. Christina Hibbert and this is lesson 7 of season 2 as we are going to focus today on how to understand your purpose in life and what does that really even mean and how do you live your life with more purpose. Last time we focused on our mission statement and we had you work on, hopefully over the past month or so, how to draft that mission statement to come up with the idea of what you're trying to seek in your life. What's your vision? We talked about that at the very beginning of the lessons. And then how do you put that into a formulated kind of a plan or a statement as a mission statement to help you guide your life in seeking what you want and receiving what you want. So once we have our vision and our mission set to go, then we can start to talk about, well, what do we do to get there? How do we actually make that happen? And that's what our purpose is all about. So we're talking this year, obviously, about mission, purpose, and fulfilling your life's calling. And we talked about mission just last time, and this time we're going to focus on purpose. And next time we're going to talk about the actual fulfilling of that life's calling, which they all go together, but hopefully you'll understand what we're trying to do as we break it up into littler pieces so it's not too overwhelming. I hope that you'll join me on my website at drchristinahibbert.com for some other tools that might help with this and for blog posts that are related. And let's just get started with our lesson then. As we discussed last time, our mission can be fulfilled by putting together that mission statement, having that focus of what we desire. Now today, let's talk about the steps to get there. The steps to get there can be difficult to understand. And one of the things that I found helpful in understanding that is starting to look at our lives and see what's already in place, what pieces are already there. So for instance, what kinds of talents do you have? What kinds of things do you enjoy doing? What do you do for your work? What are your career interests? If you've been pursuing a career, and what are your other interests if you haven't been? What are your roles and responsibilities? What kinds of patterns have you seen in your life as far as the things that you do, how you engage with other people, your relationships, and the things that you enjoy? And also, what are your dreams? And what kinds of things do you wish you could do? If you could be someone else and live another life, what kinds of things would you do? I used to think about this when, a few years back, and I used to think, I wish I could be an author. That was my dream come true. In my mind, it seemed so perfect to be an author, and I have a vision in my head of this author's writing office, and I would be up in that office with this big sunny window at my desk, and it would be all sunny and pretty, and I'd be in my robe or my comfy clothes or my sweater all wrapped up, and I'd have some kind of like maybe herbal tea or something that I could just be sipping while I'm writing, and I'd be writing with pencil or typing. I had this whole vision of it. And that was my dream. And it felt like such an impossible reality because I was a mom and I was trying to go to graduate school, and then after graduate school I was trying to I had another baby, and then I was trying to get licensed as a psychologist, and then I had to do all my hours to become licensed, and it was always one thing after the other, and before I knew it I had 6 kids, and then I was a mom of 6 kids, and it felt like that's never going to happen. I'm never going to be able to have that dream come true. But it's important to have those dreams because, as you know, that dream for me has come true. Now, it doesn't look the same way. My office is in our guest room, and it is constantly a mess every time I go up there to work. My kids' stuff is everywhere. They've gotten into and lost my scissors and my stapler, and I have no pens, so half the time I'm writing with a crayon. But I have an office, and I do write, and I do enjoy writing. And even though it may not seem the same peaceful way because I am also a mom and I also have other things I'm doing, it's still the fulfillment of my dream that I thought could never be reality, and yet here I am. So that's just to give you a little hope to think of, what are your dreams? What would you do if you could? I used to say I'd love to be a background singer for a band or a group, and now I'm thinking, what? Why not just record some of my own songs? And I could be a singer and, kind of put that on the side and do that too. You just never know what you can fulfill in your life as you let yourself dream and go for it. So what I suggest is you take all these things I just mentioned and you lay them all out on a piece of paper. When I did this several years ago, I wrote them all onto a big white blank piece of paper, and I kind of drew it crazy like a map. I just kind of put everything all over. So I had my roles, and I had, I'm a mother, and I kind of circled that, and what that meant, what I had to do as a mother. I had all these things branching out from there. I have to take care of the house and make sure that the kids are doing well, and obviously take care of babies and do all their activities, of course. So I had all those different things. And then I had, at this time I was a graduate student, so I'm a student, and what do I have to do for that? I have to do my homework, and I have a tutoring job that I do part of that. And then I was also teaching aerobics at the time, so I'm an aerobics instructor, and what do I have to do for that? And I was a manager at the aerobics, and I'm a wife, and that's part of my job, and I'm trying to be a psychologist, so what is that going to mean, and what do I want to do with my role as a psychologist? So I kind of put all these things out on paper, and later in my life I did this again, and it was at a time when I felt like my life was so fragmented. I remember telling my husband, I have all these separate things I'm trying to do, and they just feel so, like it's so much, like there's so many different things I'm trying to do, and they felt so, segmented in my life. So I put them all on this piece of paper, and I had, like I'm a psychologist, and I'm also trying to be a writer, and I have a website, and I'm starting a website, I want to write books, I'm a mom, I have all these different things, and I listed them all out. And then what you do is, and then I also listed the things I felt like I was good at, the things I love doing, public speaking, I love writing songs and sharing them, these kinds of things. And I put those things out. And so you list your talents, you list your responsibilities and your roles, you list the things you've been doing and how you've been doing them and the things that are important in your life. You put on there your values. So I put on there things like compassion and love and service and contributing and making a difference and trying to help others, these kinds of things that were important to me. And you put all this on there, and then you add in your dreams. Like, you go ahead and go for it. Okay, I want to be an author, I want to become publish a song someday, some of these things that you might not think you can do. And then once you get it all out there, and there's no right or wrong, you can do as many things as I've suggested, or you can just do a few different things, and maybe your life doesn't feel as complex and segmented as mine. But I guess at this time I was trying to search for the common theme, and that's really what we're talking about when we're talking about purpose. It's about finding the common unifying theme in what you're already doing, in the talents you already have, in the talents you're developing, and the talents you desire to develop, and the things you desire to do in the future. So it's looking for that common theme. And so you look at your paper and you try to see, what do these things have in common? And you'll probably find more than one thing. When I kind of looked at my paper, I remember I was in a hotel room working on this because I was on a trip, coming home from a trip, and I had one more night alone to kind of work on this. And I remember thinking, some of the things that unify this is, I love to learn, and some of it's I love to teach, and some of it's, I'm trying to live my life with compassion and love, and maybe that's really what my purpose is. And you can come up with a few different ideas, and over time, as you go live your life with this purpose in mind, you'll begin to clarify and refine it and come up with what you feel is your true purpose and mission in life. Now, I did this class several years ago for the women in my church, and we were doing an evening on our mission and purpose, or personal ministry, whatever you want to call it. And everybody felt, we called it was the mystery of your personal ministry. And personal ministry is just a churchy word for your mission and your purpose in life, your calling. So what we did is I had everybody kind of sitting around, and I got up at the blackboard and I just said, let's start talking about this. What do you guys all think this means? So people started listing different things, like, part of my ministry or my mission in life is my family, being a mother, or my job, my work, it's my roles, it's my responsibilities, it's my talents. And so we had all these things listed, and this was years and years ago. And then we sort of did this exactly. We started trying to find what's the thing that has all these things that tie together. And what we came up with that night was, to me, an eye-opener. And I don't know if anybody else got anything from it, but I sure did. And it was that it didn't so much matter what we were doing and what the things are that were part of our mission in life. What mattered was how we were doing them. It wasn't so much about the doing as it was about the being, and even more so about the becoming through what we do. And so earlier in this session, this series of season 2, I think in our first session, or second maybe, I said that, I'm pretty sure it was the first, but I said that everybody's mission really has to do with love. And what I meant by that was, that it's really about loving others and serving others, and loving ourselves and serving ourselves, so that we grow and we help others grow. Really, that's probably, in general, what a mission, life's calling is all about. If we're just out to earn money or to become famous, that's not a mission or purpose. That's a job. That's I don't know, I guess a selfish desire, I would say. But if we're out there to really do something with our lives and to become something, well, that's what a mission and a purpose is all about. So I want you to look for, what are those unifying factors that help you become, that help you be in your world, and what matters to you. So maybe to you, one of your purposes is humor. Maybe you love to bring joy and laughter to others. Comedians do this, right? Maybe you love to entertain, and that's what you do. You're all about helping people to escape and relax and have a good time and entertaining. And it's about, again, loving others by letting them have that time to escape. Maybe you're like me and you like to help people overcome or become or flourish, right? And so you can look for these things. So just to share on a personal level, over the years, I've sort of been able to refine and understand my purpose. And it's become clearer and clearer to me, to where now I know for sure. And I really have two ways of describing it. One is more of my religious perspective of my purpose, which, if you are a religious or a person of faith or a spiritual person, of course, spirituality, faith, religion has so much to do with this. And so much of this is listening to those whispers, to God, to your higher power, to understand what God wants for you. That's really what it's all about. And so when you're doing this exercise, if you're a person of faith, then you pray and you listen, or you meditate and you sit quietly and still and you listen and you try to receive those answers and obey those whispers, as I talk about, and this is how we grow. Now for me, my more spiritual religious focus, as I'm a Christian, and so it's my purpose in life is to come unto Christ and bring others with me. That's it. It's that simple. I know that for sure. So everything that I do, whether I'm with my kids or whether I'm with my friends or whether I'm doing a job at church, or whether I'm being a psychologist and doing clinical work, or I'm doing a video like this or writing a book or whatever I'm doing, or with my husband, my point is to help myself to connect spiritually, to come unto Christ, and then to bring others with me, to help others learn those important values and skills that help them feel spiritually connected as well, in whatever way that they can. And to put it a different way, my purpose in life is to learn and then to teach. Now, I've been given a lot of life challenges and experiences, and especially death, as you know, and I don't believe that those are just for nothing. I think those are other things we should put on our little paper and try to look at, is the challenges we've been given. What have we been given to try to overcome? I've had so much death and it just keeps coming. So obviously I'm supposed to learn something from that, and I'm supposed to grow. That's the whole point of it. And I remember years ago, a man told me, he called those things tutorials, those hardships in life. And he, talked about, when we have many tutorials, they're obviously there to teach us. And I believe that 100%. I wrote a whole book about it. This is how we grow, trying to understand that and to learn that. And I know it deep in my soul. So for me, learning from whatever life gives me, and then teaching it and sharing it with others. And then I learn from that, and it keeps that cycle going. And to me, those two purposes are really one and the same. It's just two different ways of looking at it. So I encourage you to focus on your purpose. Once you understand how to approach your life, really purpose is really about how to approach your life and what you're trying to seek out of life and how you're trying to be in your life. And when you can do that, then you can start living your life with more purpose. So when you're doing the dishes, you can be doing the dishes full of love and compassion versus begrudgingly because, oh, I'm doing the dishes. But when you know that I love taking care of my family and so I want to do the dishes, then you're doing it because it's part of your purpose to love. Or when you're, making your child smile, it's part of your purpose to bring more joy and laughter into the world, whatever that may be. Okay, so we can then put more of our purpose into each day and into each moment. Even the silly little things that we think really aren't that meaningful can become more meaningful, and we can be living a life of purpose and meaning. And that to me is important and meaningful. I love living a life of meaning and purpose. So I hope that you will work on this month, work on discovering your purpose, trying to pull together some ideas, and again, give it time. As I said, I first did this probably about 12 or 15 years ago, and then again about 8 years ago, and I really feel like it's only been the past few years that I've really for sure known what my purpose is and boiled it down to those few words. So we have our mission and we have our purpose. Our purpose is kind of like the underlying, why are we doing this and what's the point of it, and what's our motivation and what are we hoping to get from it. And our mission statement's more about like, what is that going to look like? Then next time we're going to focus on our life's calling and fulfilling that mission, purpose, life's calling through our activities. So it's kind of like the how do we do that then? How do we put that into practice and make that part of our life? And so we can live a life of meaning and purpose and fulfilling that life's calling so that we can have that extra joy in our life. I know that these things are real and true, and if we work on them, that they can make such a difference in our life, and that we can make such a difference in others' lives. And again, that's what it's all about. It's about loving others, loving ourselves, letting love in and keeping that cycle going, and letting love in from above and that divine power, listening, obeying, and doing what we're asked to do in this world. And when we do so, boy, life can be such a fun ride and really thrilling. Even when we're not doing anything that seems very thrilling, it can all be very joyful. So that's what I hope for you and for me. And until next time, I hope you'll go to my website at drchristinahibbert.com and look for more tools and resources. I have a couple of blog posts on living a life of meaning and purpose and fulfilling your life's calling. And I hope you can use those for your benefit. And work on this assignment, this one thing, because it's really kind of going to be, it's going to take you a while probably. And that's okay. And it's something that you can keep working on forever. And until next time, I hope you will continue to choose to grow, and we will see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.